Hello, America. Today's show topics include a pronoun by any other name, Trump's Afghanistan strategy, and, you know, some of that XYZ celebrity Kathy Griffin, and more. So sit back, buckle up, and hang on because, yes, that's right, we're just getting started.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny.
You know what time it is, so sit back and get ready for the Stafford Voice, your dose of conservative in a world of liberal.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, how you doing? I'm your host, Daniel Stafford, and you're listening or watching the Stafford Voice, where we are conservative in a world of liberal. Jeez Louise. Oh, we got some stuff to talk about tonight. But before we do so, I want to remind you there are many ways to tune into the show. So, set this channel as a favorite, whatever you have to do, so you don't get left behind. Because if for some strange, crazy reason you do miss the show, there's no need to panic. That's right. Just sit back and relax because, hey, I've got you. In the case you aren't already following on social media, you can find me over on Gab or Twitter at Stafford Voice. Again, that's on Twitter or Gab at Stafford Voice. Or you can find me over on Facebook or Instagram. Basically, whatever your social site is of your choosing, wherever you're at, just search for the Stafford Voice, and, well, we're probably there. If not, email me. We'll figure it out. We'll contact each other somehow, some way. Okay. Before we jump into things, you guys know, or maybe you don't. Maybe this is one of your first times tuning in. And that's okay. Every Tuesday night, my wife and I, we have a date night. We've done really good about this over the last, how long have we been doing date night? 10 years now? 10, 11 years? Something about like that. Somewhere around 10 years have we been doing date nights. I can't remember if we've ever had a night like we did last night. Unbelievable. I mean, seriously, we almost died on the way home. The service sucked, which brings me to a question. Let me ask you a question. What keeps you going back to a restaurant? Is it about the service over the food, or the food over the service? Does the food outweigh the service? You know, if you've got crappy service but excellent food, do you continue to go back? Or if you've got fantastic, top-notch service, but the food is, it's nothing really to write home about, but the service is incredible. Which one outweighs the other? I want to know. And if you haven't done so and you're watching over on the YouTube or wherever you're at listening, jump over to the show over on YouTube and hit us up in the chat room. That's where we want to see you. We want to be able to chat with you over there because that's where things tend to go. I know we're going to be working on some software changes and updates between now and next week's show. Hopefully we can get everything ironed out. We're gonna do some hardware. We're gonna work on some hardware stuff. We're working on upping some stuff for you. It's good. Hopefully everything works out. Okay, so speaking of the chat room, Jessica from Jesse's Point of View, who was on just right before us, she says, I can always get takeout, so the service can be avoided. So the food is top of my list. Now, The restaurant we went to, we continue to go back because of the food. The food is really good. We've had great service twice out of what? 7, 8 times? 7 or 8 times of going to this restaurant. 2 out of those 7 or 8 times have we had fantastic service. It was the same person both times. She remembered who we were, and yes, it was. I'm not going to name names, but if you're in the chat, then let's see. Ron says, even service at takeout can suck. Yes, it can. You know, if you order a pizza and the guy shows up looking like he ate the pizza on the way, I can understand. But no, I don't expect that. I don't expect 100% service every time.
But I want.
Yes.
Fill my drink up.
Right. Just take care of us.
Or even ask if I want.
Listen. I'm not even. I don't even want to get into the guy we had last night. I did kind of dump on the manager though, which is one of the first times I've ever done so. Never do I remember asking for a manager at a place that we ate at and basically said the food is incredible and that's the only reason we come back, that the service was horrendous. So, cruddy service, the food was great. And Jessica, we're working on that. We're working on that. We're working on it, okay? By next week's show, it'd be a drastic improvement. Trust me. Okay, so she says, true, this was in relation to what Ron was saying. True, but you only have to deal with the crappy service once, not all throughout the meal. And that's with, takeout, how service can suck. They do have one of those car hop things where you can pull up and they bring the food to you. I don't know. It's something about going out, because if I'm at home and the phone is right there and it goes ding ding ding, I'm more likely to grab it. But when we're out on date night, the rule of thumb is we don't grab our phones. You could slap my hand, but I slap back. I'm not going to do that because I'm a nice guy. Okay, so apparently we've got mixed reviews that, service, let's see, food is at the top of some lists, and then we've also got some service that is more important. It is. I mean, you do need a mixture of both, but I don't know. I mean, I was interested to see, okay, so I was interested to see what you guys had to say. And by all means, if we do have a good waiter or waitress, I want to make sure I'm using the right pronoun. They will be rewarded. If they are a great person providing service, I'm using my pronouns, then we reward them. We tip good. We do. We tip more than the 5%. We tip more than the 5 or 8 or 10%.
I think it's 10.
But whatever it is, we do more than that, as long as the service is good. You're gonna be lucky if I give you a tip. That's all I want to say. So let's fast forward. Finally, we get through crappy service. Food was good. Crappy service. Now, we're leaving the restaurant. We're getting ready to almost die. We're sitting at the red light. There is a cop in front of us and a cop behind us. The wife doesn't know what I did or what I said.
Maybe it was because we talked to a manager.
Maybe it was because we talked to a manager. I don't know. So we've got a cop in front of us and a cop behind us. I kid you not. Before the light turned green, I asked my wife, I said, what's the chance that somebody runs a red light and the cop does nothing? So what happens? Light turns red. Ours turns green. We proceed to go through the intersection. The cop cautiously starts pulling out. Next thing you know, he slams on his brakes. Right in front of the cop. 2 cops. There's one in front of us and one behind us. Okay, remember that. These numbnuts do absolutely nothing. They do absolutely nothing. They stop in the middle and let the dude pass, and then they proceed to go through the corner. What the hell is wrong with our police in this town? You get pulled over for being on your cell phone at a stop sign or having a headlight burned out. I had a headlight burn out one morning. I back out of the driveway, I make it to the end of the street and realize my headlight is burned out. A cop stops me. I had to go to court and prove to the judge and the officer that was there that my headlights work. I keep a spare headlight bulb in the car. Anyway. There's good cops and bad cops. I left the insurance card laying on the thing, and that's probably why he wanted to be such a prick, but whatever. So we almost die. The cop does absolutely nothing. Our service was cruddy. However, 2 highlights of the evening. Obviously, the company was great. I was in good company. My wife, on the other hand, she would probably beg to differ. She's saying no right now. Anyway. The other highlight was we are fascinated with the Scientology show that Leah Remini does. There's really only like 2 or 3 shows maybe that we kind of clock watch, and the Leah Remini Scientology show is one of those shows. Now, Game of Thrones is one of the other ones, but. No, it wasn't a donut run. It wasn't a donut run because it was like 7 o'clock at night. 7 o'clock at night, all the donut shops are closed. Walmart's out of donuts. The Price Chopper, the grocery store, there's no donuts at 7 o'clock at night. Cops don't even know where you can get donuts, and they are the donut king. So they're not on a donut run. I was speculating that they They probably had one of those apps on their cell phones that they're not supposed to be using and driving, that cops do get donuts at Quick Trip. They probably logged in with their cell phone and clocked out and hurried back to the station. That's what I'm suspecting. We don't have a Krispy Kreme near us. I know, it's blasphemy. It is. It's probably a good 20 or 30 minutes away. It's really out of the way to get to. By the time you get there, it's like lunchtime. And anyway. So, other than almost dying, a cop not doing anything, date night was... Last night's date night probably ranks up there as probably one of the worst. Not because of the company, not because of the food. Oh, it was just unreal. Wow. I mean, y'all almost... And I told that to the manager. I said, look, when we come here, we expect good food. I mean, your food is consistently good. But the service tonight may be the reason why we don't come back. We'll see. Sorry. But I don't know. I mean, and it's kind of, we've got kind of mixed reviews going on in the chat. Whether, service is more important than the food, or if food is more important than the service. I don't know. I mean, to me, I want consistency. Granted, they're consistent. The food is good, the service not so good. Consistent. Unlike my favorite restaurant, which is Crazy Good Eats. I know, and I don't know if we can talk about what we were invited to Monday, but I'm going to. The owners invited us to come do a private taste test to see what we thought of, and there were a couple of other people that were there with us. They wanted to do some taste testing and get an idea of what these dishes, whether we thought it was something that would fit or not. They had some really good stuff. They had some pulled pork nachos. They had green beans with chunks of shredded brisket. They had jalapeno poppers. Oh my gosh. They have these jalapeno poppers. It's just a normal jalapeno popper, but on top, instead of putting bacon in with your cheese and your cream cheese mixture, or wrapping it in bacon, what they have this, it's a bourbon bacon jam. They took some of this bourbon bacon jam and put it on top of the jalapeno popper. As soon as these things hit the menu, I will be sure to share with you what they look like. They are magnificent little gems. They look like they look like they belong in the Smithsonian. They're that fantastic. What else did they have? They had the pulled pork nacho. Oh, they had pork belly sliders, which were really good. I enjoyed it. We have determined that pork belly is an acquired taste. We'll just leave it at that. I had 2 of them, so it was a win in my book. And it had this garlic aioli sauce that... What else was there? No, there were 5 things. They had the green beans. They had the jalapeno poppers. Oh, they had these little chicken ball things. Oh, I forgot about that. They deep fried these little balls of chicken, and they make their own in-house ranch sauce that they drizzled on top with some of their award-winning barbecue sauce. Oh, wow. We may have to make a run there over the weekend. If they have it. They probably won't be on the menu yet. And Jessica, I am terribly disappointed and saddened to hear that you were allergic to pork. I'm sorry, but they've got the chicken. They've got plenty of beef. Their burnt ends are phenomenal. Okay, listen, I gotta quit talking about food. I have to quit talking about food. No more food. Write that down. We gotta get on with the show. Enough about me. That's not why you guys are here. You're allergic to shellfish too. Holy crap! What do you eat? That's true. My wife found out that she doesn't do so well with amoxicillin. When she had, I told you guys she had strep throat. Well, so we went to the doctor. They prescribed her some amoxicillin. Guess what? She broke out in hives head to toe. Woo! No, not so good. Oh, things were not doing so well for us for a week there. Anyway, she's doing much better. Hives are almost gone. Let's see. She says that she can eat beef, chicken, yes, fish, yes. Okay. Well, I mean, we're done talking about food. We're not talking about food the whole time. Maybe we could. Let's get on with this. Let's get on with the show. Okay. A pronoun. Let's go back to, what was it? Let's go back to grammar school, okay? Pronouns. Right? Can we make this any more confusing right now? Can we make things any more confusing, okay? I've got to admit, I've got this weird fascination right now of seeing what the idiots over at Teen Vogue are putting out. Seriously, whoever is the chief of ignorance over there, they have their work not so cut out for them. They make it too easy, okay? Here they basically snagged an article from some place called Youth Radio, and they basically just did the whole cut, copy, paste thing. Here's what this stupid article, and you'll see where I'm going with this and why we're calling the show a pronoun by any other name. Okay? And this is almost something out of one of those old episodes of Kids Say the Darndest Things. People say the darndest things. Teen Vogue says the most dumbass stuff out there. We need to come up with a stinger or something for a Teen Vogue section on the show. Because I almost threw up in my mouth when I went over there to see if there was a story that was relevant to even bring up and talk about. But this actually fits with the next two things that we've got to talk about tonight. So here's what it is. All your questions about gender-neutral pronouns answered. What? Gender-neutral pronouns? What the hell? Seriously, now we have to have preferred pronouns. You know, you can't just label somebody a he or a him if they look like it. No, because you never know. It could be a she. I almost said she could look like a shit or a shat. Anyway, so the he could be a she and the she could be a he, or the him could be a her, or a her could be a him. We don't know. Sometimes we really don't know. Honestly, how many times have you been at Walmart and thought to yourself, that gal is dressing kind of weird. Turn around and a dude looks like a lady but with a beard. Serious. A skit on Saturday Night Live. I don't know. That was Pat. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that was something weird to pop into your head. Okay, so the author, we can't call he because we don't know. The name is Desmond. Their preferred pronoun is they, them, their. Okay? Anyway, they go on to list questions. They're posing scenarios. Posing scenarios and how you can respond to them with gender-neutral pronouns. For instance, you're only one person. How does that work? And he goes on, the person goes on to say, using he or she and his or hers in this situation is awkward and clunky, so we use singular they instead. So here's the scenario. Oh, someone dropped their money here. I'll set it aside for them. I bet they are looking everywhere. What you should say is this. Oh, Desmond dropped their money here. I'll set it aside for them. I bet they are looking everywhere. Here, you look at that and tell me if that's the same damn sentence. All they did was change one word. They replaced one word with the ignoramus's name. Okay. Nine and a half people are not going to set the money aside because somebody could really be looking for it. They're probably going to just steal the crap out of it. And then blame it on Trump, because everything is Trump's fault these days. So, I mean, Trump really needs to issue an executive order on using gender-neutral pronouns, okay? So here's another one. Now, I felt that this was really, really ignorant. So I want to read to you this section. It says, my non-binary friend is okay with being called he or she, so I don't think it's a big deal. Desmond's response, oh boy. If you're using the pronoun your friend told you to use, great. Non-binary people can use binary pronouns. Personally, I use both he and they, and I don't mind either one. It doesn't make me less non-binary, and the words and terms that make me comfortable don't apply to everyone. But, this is a very big but, if your friend prefers singular they, but doesn't correct you when you use he or she instead, chances are it's because they don't feel safe doing so. They may be afraid of getting into an awkward or dangerous situation by repeating themselves to someone who won't listen. Safe space my ass. It takes a lot of courage to reveal such personal information to others. And when someone comes out to you, it's because they trust you enough to tell you something really important. I guarantee you're not getting a free pass. You're just making someone quietly uncomfortable. And potentially losing a friend. Seriously, stop! And while you're at it, you should probably say sorry to them. The next to the last... Okay, wait. Somebody said... Jessica says... Oh. How the hell do you do that? How do you retract a message? Where the hell did it go? I should put you in timeout. I'm not going to. Oh, anyway. Oh boy. Apparently now in the chat room, we're trying to moderate each other on which pronouns to correctly use. Whether we use a singular they or their or them or... Look, I'm just as damn confused as this. I even had to go brush up on proper use of pronouns, and I found myself on a website that was like the Bible of pronouns. It was ridiculous. I kid you not. I read that page for like 20 minutes. By the end of the day, still can't tell you a single damn thing it said on there. Anyway, next to the last paragraph, here's what Desmond, because we don't know if he is a she or she is a he or they or them or there or whatever. Here's what he said. I don't want to, can I say it? Here's what the person says. All I ask is for you not to make it my problem. Oh. Breathe. Woosah. Woosah does not work for me. Unagi doesn't work. Okay, so all I ask is for you not make it my problem. No, I don't want it to be your problem either. I don't want it to be my problem, and I don't want you to force this crap on me or anybody else. Getting really apologetic or changing the subject of how difficult you find my pronouns won't make me feel any more comfortable after I've been misgendered. Don't tell me that you're trying. Show me. Try, and then if you get it wrong, correct yourself and move on. I think, Desmond, what you need to do, move the hell on. Except the fact, speaking of move on. Speak. What? No, it's wrong. You can't, listen. I was grown up to be respectful to people, whether you're older than me or younger than me. I don't care. I will still call you sir, and I will still call you ma'am. If I can't figure out what you are or who you are, if I get it wrong, I'll apologize. And hope you don't really take offense. Now, refill, I really should put you in timeout. No, I'm not going to replay the first 29 minutes of the show. We record the damn thing so you can go back and watch it again. And when you watch it again, make sure you hit the like button or you share it. And it was all about date night, and it was all about food. And see, you guys made me bring it up again. Moving right along. Refill, we're having a grammar lesson in pronouns tonight. Pronouns. Pronouns, pronouns, pronouns. Okay, you would think the best place to learn about pronouns. The best place to learn about pronouns, right? Where? Your local Walmart? No. The local gas station? No. It's college. You don't learn about pronouns in elementary school. You don't learn about them in grammar school either. You learn about pronouns and the proper use of them at college. What am I talking about? A sign posted at a university. You know what? Let's just throw them under the bus since they're, what, 20 or 30 minutes down the road from us. A sign posted at the University of Kansas, KU's library, spells it out. Here's what the sign says. Quote, because gender is itself fluid and up to the individual, each person has the right to identify their own pronouns, and we encourage you to ask before assuming someone's gender. Pronouns matter. Misgendering someone can have lasting consequences, and using the incorrect pronoun can be hurtful, disrespectful, and invalidate someone's identity. I'm not even going to go there. Okay? So how do they do that? How is the University of Kansas, which is 20 or 30 minutes down the road from us, how are they combating this? Get this. Library workers are wearing buttons to tell us what their preferred gender pronoun is. Is this not stupid? We wonder why college is so damn expensive and out of reach for the normal lower and middle class people. Why? Because we have to make buttons that tell you what our preferred gender pronoun is. Okay? The my pronouns are buttons come in 3 versions. That's beautiful, Ron. Ron over in the chat says, I shall henceforth be addressed by the royal we. Okay, so the buttons come in 3 versions. He, him, his, she, her, hers, and they, them, theirs. Obviously, the later for those who don't identify as male or female.
So what the heck?
You identify as a they, them, or theirs.
What the heck is that?
Yes, there. If
Your DNA.
no, wait, no.
Him or
no,
her.
stop it right there. You're hurting my feelings, and this is my safe place.
It's my place.
Damn it. Okay. If a them opens the door for me, how do I address them?
Thank you.
Do I say thank you? Do I say thank you, them? Do I say thanks them or thanks they or thanks theirs?
I'm gonna say.
But I can't call them sir. You can't say that. You could hurt their feelings because see,
Well, they
you
hurt mine,
listen.
but
You could.
be nice.
You're being hurtful, disrespectful, and probably going to invalidate someone's identity.
Well, you're being hurtful to me for using my.
Oh,
Validate my
stick it where the sun doesn't shine, because that's exactly where we should be Listen, this is exactly where we need to be hanging these stupid buttons, is up someone's backside. Okay? Okay, listen, here's the local a local newspaper reported on this, and they said that library employees aren't required to wear the buttons, which is good, and buttons are available for students. It's all part of a, quote, You Belong Here campaign aimed at undergraduates, including those who are transgender, and ensuring they feel welcome. We've told all of our frontline employees if a student asks, give them a button. Listen, they have even gone so far about these You Belong Here signs. They also have put these signs around for gender inclusive bathrooms that Wait for it, because this is where it gets good. This is where I want to take out like 5 mortgages to be able to afford to go to a semester of class at KU. They have reflection rooms for meditation and prayer. They also have lactation stations. Don't assume that because my button says he, him, her, that I can't go to the lactation station. I mean, milk is good for a person, right? I'm a growing boy. I'm a growing them. They have lactation stations here. It's printed right there.
I'm confused.
Yes, thanks with no pronoun. Oh. But, you know what? You think that, listen, you think that's bad. You better be damn lucky we don't live in California. Why? Because right now there is a bill that's being, yes, there is a bill being put forth in California that would subject elder care workers to jail time for repeatedly referring to transgender residents. Wait for it. Wait. By the wrong pronoun. You can go to jail. That's what they want in California. Okay, this bill you can't use that word, dick.
I said
Rethemulous. It's rethemulous.
Ridiculous.
Irrethemulous. I'm going to echo what Jess says from Jesse's point of view. Oy vey. This was authored by, yes, Democratic State Senator Scott Wiener. Yes, insert laughter here. Oh, of San Francisco.
That offends me.
I'm offended too.
I don't have one.
I don't want to see Scott's wiener. Yes, you do. I'm your dick. I'm an ass.
I still love my ass.
I like your ass too. Anyway. Oh! Jail time. No, refill. I'm not kidding you. Okay, this is California Senate Bill 219. I don't know if he's related to Anthony Weiner. No, they can't be because their spellings are different. Okay, so California Senate Bill 219. Other Jessica in the room. Jessica, our daughter-in-law is watching too, which is rather unnerving sometimes that our kids watch. I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of, it wigs me out sometimes. She's put this little throw up emoji in there, and then she's got the giggle emoji. Yes, Schoolhouse Rock, according to Ron, and I echo that. Schoolhouse Rock has been rendered all wrong. Okay, so California Senate Bill 219 would enact what is called the, wow, this is a mouthful, Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, and Transgender Long-Term Care Facility Residents Bill of Rights. Whew. If that's not enough, okay, so you got to kind of dig around and find where this is. So here's what it says in the bill. Here's the specific part about it. Quote, would make it unlawful, except as specified, for any long-term care facility to take specified actions wholly or partially on the basis of a person's actual or perceived sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, or human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, status, including, among others, willfully and repeatedly failing to use a resident's preferred name or pronouns after being clearly informed of the preferred name or pronouns. Listen, where in this does it talk about old people with Alzheimer's? You know the best thing about Alzheimer's? You meet new people every day. Let's put this into perspective, okay? Who? The Alzheimer patient?
Yeah.
No. If they remember to do so, because they might forget. Give it 5 minutes, they'll blows over. Anyway, no. This is to put the caregiver in jail because they're not calling Great Grandma Jones the right pronoun. So here, what could this mean? And I will agree with whoever it was that wrote this. Says that this is a slippery slope, and I agree. At what point will this extend into something along the lines of imprisoning a citizen for something that they have said, regardless of how abusive it is perceived to be? This bill, they went on to say, this bill doesn't affect me, but what about the next one? Because the next level of outlawed speech could attack something personal to me and you or myself also, such as my religious beliefs. We don't have to try and legislate basic kindness and human interaction. I could not agree more with their perspective on what they had to say. This is a 100% assault on the First Amendment. Absolutely 100% ridiculous. I don't... how much time do we have? Like 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes? Okay, I'll save that one for last. It is a backdoor way to take away speech. I'm getting ready to sneeze. I really don't want to sneeze. I don't like to sneeze. Wow. It hurts to sneeze. Oh, and yes, unfortunately, children growing up right now are going to be so confused. Hell, the parents are confused. Grandparents are confused. Omas and opas around the world. See what I did there? Yep. We're just as confused, okay? Hopefully, that's Jessica don't. Right. Make sure what we need to do is we need to put all these shows on a flash drive and save them for our grandson so he can come back and watch them and wonder what it was like to be able to say whatever you wanted and to express however you wanted to feel. By the time he gets old enough, I'm going to be so confused. I'm thoroughly confused, and I spent all day trying to figure out pronouns. I don't know how many stupid articles I could have talked about pronoun this and pronoun that. What about the semi-pro pronouns? Why do they always have to be professionals? Professional nouns. Speaking of professionals, our military, God love them. I do. I mean, hell, I signed up. Okay. What was it? About a week and a half. Maybe it was just a week ago, where Trump laid out his new conditions-based approach towards what to do with Afghanistan. Just two things that he had said. He said conditions on the ground, not arbitrary timetables, will guide our strategy from now on. And he took a book, or he took a page right out of Sun Tzu's The Art of War, where he offered absolutely no details on what we're going to do. You know, unlike the previous administrations who outlined everything for the press and told them exactly where we would be, what time we would leave. He said, America's enemies must never know our plans or believe they can wait us out. I will not say when we are going to attack, but attack we will. Now, just yesterday, and this kind of goes along with something that was said today, where they were talking about, they talked about troop levels earlier today. Troop levels in Afghanistan are being underreported. Apparently, they were under the impression that they had roughly 8,300, and actually their new number is roughly 11,000 troops currently in Afghanistan. And that's at all levels from top to bottom. So Yesterday, the Department of Defense spokesman said that on Monday, the Pentagon cannot employ President Trump's strategy for the war in Afghanistan, which is we're gonna, this conditions-based approaches, that one of the things is we're gonna look at this and determine how many troops we need to send, or if we need to send any more at all. Basically, they had said that the strategy for war in Afghanistan, because critical military decisions have not yet been made. American Colonel Robert Manning, a U.S. Department of Defense spokesman, told reporters on Monday, quote, "We're just not there yet. There is work to be done here within the department and answers that need to be provided." And that was with an interview to Voice of America. Look, there are so many questions that need to be answered in regard to what to do with Sorry, I was trying to read what Jessica, from Jesse's point of view, put in the chat. There are so many questions, so many different levels of things that need to be answered, and which will only open more questions. We have really got to figure out what's going on. Now, when Trump was, before Trump gave this speech, I had asked on social media, on Twitter and Gab, I asked on both. On both platforms, there was an overwhelming majority of people that were for the idea of just an all-out step away. Hands-off approach, let them sort it out. If it goes to hell in a handbasket, guess what? It goes. We pull everything, all 100% American assets. Whether it's a business venture, whether it's troops, whatever. We pull all of our assets out of the Middle East region and let them sort it out. We can no longer be the world's police. We can't do it anymore. And our troops can't do it anymore. The last thing they want to do is have another buildup and get shipped off over there again. They can't do it. They're tired. But blessings from the Lord, because he continues to bless them with being the strongest and most elite fighting force that the world has ever seen. Bar none. Okay, we've got just a few minutes, and let's wrap it up with something from an XYZ level celebrity. That's right, Kathy Griffin has taken back her apology for that picture that she had where she was dressed she was wearing a Monica Lewinsky dress. It was blue, right? Monica's dress was blue. Yeah. Kathy Griffin was wearing a blue dress. It didn't have any stains on it. It didn't even have a blood stain from the bloody head that she... The what? Nobody wants to leave a stain on a blue dress. Okay? No. I don't think... Oh, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to talk about third members and getting close to her. You guys know the picture I'm referring to. Kathy Griffin has got this disgusted look on her face, and she's holding a severed head that looks like Donald Trump. Well, she takes back her apology. She takes back her apology just in time to announce a new world tour. That's right. That photo that she apologized for, basically because she was quote-unquote pressured into it, that she went too far and was wrong about doing so. Well, just the other day, she appeared on Australia's 7 network show, Sunrise, where she said that the outrage was generated by hardcore Trump supporters. I don't think that's true, because even her, even one of her fellow co-hosts, what was his name? What's Numbnut's name? Where did it go? Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper even denounced it, and he's a leftist. He doesn't. Anderson Cooper doesn't support Trump. Oh, Kathy Griffin is an idiot. We all know this. She says, Kathy Griffin says, I am no longer sorry. The whole outrage was BS. The whole thing got so blown out of proportion and I lost everybody. I've been through the mill. The lady that was, one of the ladies that was doing the interview, her name was Samantha Armitage. She had asked Griffin if her if the photo that she used was pushed things too far. She said, no, you're full of crap. Stop acting like my little picture is more important than talking about the actual atrocities that the President of the United States is committing. Hey, Carrot Top, what atrocities? Oh, that's right. He allowed global warming to happen. Somebody's brain is fried harder than an egg. Seriously, Kathy Griffin is an idiot. I don't even want to spend any more time talking about that bitch. She's an idiot. So, anyway, she recreated the picture where it's her in the same blue dress, still no stains. Nobody wants to get that close to her, not even with a 100-foot pole. She's holding the earth, and yeah, the title of her tour, her world tour, which happens to have not one single date in the U.S. Not she needs more than a brain transplant. No, but anyway, so her world tour is called what? Laugh Your Head Off. I don't know what's funnier. The idea that she thinks she's funny, or the fact that the last time she told a joke that was funny was like never. It hasn't happened yet. I mean, I tell better jokes than Kathy, and I'm not even close to being on that high on the list of celebrities. I mean, in my house, I'm what, a C-list celebrity at least? No, you're an A-list. Oh, I'm an A-list celebrity. You are a trophy. Listen, anyway, you guys heard the beep in the background. Unfortunately, that means that's all the time we have for the show tonight. God willing, I, your host, Daniel Stafford, of the Stafford Voice, will be back next week. You can follow me over on Twitter or Gab at Stafford Voice. Again, Twitter or Gab at Stafford Voice. You can look me up on Facebook or Instagram, searching for the Stafford Voice. Email your questions, comments, or concerns to the Stafford Voice at gmail.com. Again, the Stafford Voice at gmail.com. I want to truly thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. Whether you got here early, got here late, whatever, it doesn't matter. Seriously, you guys, I'll tell you until I'm blue in the face. You guys are more than friends. You guys are family. I want to thank you so much for your time. And until next week, thanks and God bless.